Coming up this week on Big Plans, Little Budget, Fat Guy Renovates. Hey guys, so if you remember in the last video, you watched me sanding the ceiling and just getting buried in dust. And I made the comment that I didn't have any masks, so that was part of the problem I was having. Well, then I went to work the next day and it occurred to me, I don't have any masks. I have a respirator that was sitting in my garage and I forgot about it. We'll be using that from now on. But it's another week. Got some taping left to do and some mudding and more sanding and more sanding and more sanding. So let's get to it.
Okay, I'm going in.
After letting the dust settle for a little bit, it was time to start taping up by the ceiling. I was still a little nervous about getting blisters in the tape, so I'm taking extra time to make sure it's all smoothed down correctly. Having learned from the joint just below this that splicing it made it harder to do, I decided that pre-measuring and laying it all in there and smoothing it out as I go was a lot better option. Let's get a little bit of sanding done. Now that the first coat is dried and been sanded, it's time to add a second coat. Hey guys, I don't know if you guys are about as tired of watching me sand and mud this wall as I am getting tired of sanding and mudding this wall, but the necessary evil, I guess. So we got the next coat on this wall. So what I'm going to do, and we got this side done. I'm going to finish this out, and while that's drying, we'll come back and sand this and get it ready. Might need one more coat, I don't know. We'll see when it's done. In case you're wondering, I traded out my plastic trough for a stainless steel one. The plastic, I mean, it was okay, but the knives and everything just dug into the plastic, made it real hard to clean, real hard to get the mud mixed up. And I had a metal one before, and it disappeared probably in the same place my sander disappeared too. So bought a new one and ready to go. Time to mix another batch. just a little short. But I think I'm going to save that for later. So we'll just let that dry for a little bit. And in the meantime, I'm going to start sanding on this side. Well, since I'm going to be doing a lot of sanding, I think I'll put the mask on. Stop eating dust. While I'm sure this is a great upper body workout, I came to realize that I'm getting nowhere fast, and it's time to switch to something a little more powerful. Alright, so the mud on the side's all dried that we put up yesterday. Got all this sanding done. But I'm going to go through and wipe some of the dust down, and then just take probably my 6-inch trowel and just mud in where there's low spots and divots, and smooth it out, and then a light sanding after that, and this wall should be done. Basically what I'm working on is I like the corners being real sharp. So I'm trying to shape them to where they'll be nice sharp corners. I do have a corner trowel, but it's pretty rounded. And the corners just look funny, I think, when you use a corner trowel. So I think I got it pretty much where I want it. So we'll let that dry and we'll start sanding on this side. All right, here we go. Well, guys, I got a lot of sanding done, but I had to come out and take a break. It's getting a little warm in there. That window won't open. So something else I got to work on. It's supposed to be pretty warm today, so I'm going to sit out here a few minutes and cool off and get some fresh air and enjoy the weather as much as I can. And we'll get right back on it.
Time for a new piece of sandpaper.
So much dust. I don't know if I'll ever be able to get this clean. So here's where we're at. So I finished sanding this wall and I think it's done. Looks pretty good. Any other imperfections in there? The painting method I'm going to be using on this room will probably hide most if not all of any defects there might be. Then this wall, I put one more thin coat on and it's finally dry and ready to be sanded, and it will probably be the final sand for this. Right up there at the top at the corner, I've got a little bit I got to work on there, but I'll do that at some point. And that just brings me to the inside. I did decide on this corner to go ahead and rip out that tape. I'm just going to sand that out, make it smooth, and then quit worrying about it. I do still have the top to mud in here. And some mudding and sanding that I unfortunately still have to do in here. But most of that'll be done off camera because it's just dark and cramped in here, and the camera, it just makes it really hard to do. I'll probably be doing most of this room off camera, or the inside of this. The outside is just about ready for primer. Do that little bit of sanding. The inside, probably not going to put as much into it as I did on the outside for one reason. It's on the inside. Nobody's really going to see it. I mean, I'll still make it look good. I'm just not going to be as detail oriented as I was on the outside, worrying about every little thing. For one, I just want to hurry up and get all the mudding done and out of the way so we can start getting this room back in shape. So now I'm going to go start sanding this wall back. And then the outside will be done, ready for primer. All right, get to it.
And with that, the outside is done.
Okay, so we made it to the end of another week, and it's that time again. Let's get this weigh-in done. $334. I think we were at 336.5 last week. I'll have to double check that. But if so, that's another 2.5 pounds. So I'll double check that and get back to you. It was indeed another 2.5 pounds. So that brings us to 16 pounds that I've lost since I started this closet project. And I want to thank each and every one of you for the support you've given me that motivates me to do this. Thanks, guys. I really mean it. Be sure to check out these other videos, and thank you for watching.